Do you think I really recommend Altruist sunscreens? Coucou, bonjour, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cyrille. I used to be a stem cell researcher for quite some time, and this is why I can tell you about the science behind skincare ingredient. So I have decided to make this video because, oh boy, oh girl, actually, I have received so many messages from all of you like, oh, what do you think about the Altruist sunscreen? Do you recommend them, and etc. Are they good? Can you do a review? I mean, so many messages. I think I have quite some comments here on YouTube, but I have a ton on Instagram for sure, and a lot also of DM asking me about those sunscreens. So personally, I have discovered the sunscreen thanks to Dr. Dre, and there is, I have to say, not a philosophy behind the brand, but the brand is very interesting. One of the reasons because it's super affordable, and of course sunscreen that are affordable, I am all about it. And at the same time, they're also donating to support children that suffer from albinism. Albinism is a genetic condition that prevents the melanin synthesis in the skin, and therefore those children are very sensitive to UV and have skin cancer. So all of this is of course beautiful, and I'm all about this. But, and there is a but, they don't have any SPF 50 plus. So all the sunscreen, they have, or I think most of them, at least the SPF 50 for sure, they're not SPF 50 plus. They have the booster system with 4 pluses. Be very careful about this because, again, in my DMs I've been flooded by this, like, oh, because it is 5 stars, it means that the UVA protection is super high. Most likely, but you cannot make a direct comparison between the numbers of booster and the actual UVA protection, unfortunately. But what it indicates is that the absorbance of UVB is very similar to the absorbance of UVA. This is what it means. If you want to know a little bit more about the booster system and the other way to measure the UVA protection, check my video about it. This is why I've made this video, because again I had so many questions about it, so I thought it was time like to make something clear to the point. Anyway, so this is what it indicates. So I would imagine that of course the UVA protection is of at least of 30, but the problem is the damn SPF. So the SPF, like I always say, is the sun protection factors. So this is the number that sort of tell you how well you are protected from UVB, because a sunburn is mainly triggered by UVB and also a tiny bit of UVA. And here is the problem. If you are inside, like I am currently in the studio, what could happen to your skin is mainly from UVA. The UVA that will pass through the windows. But again, we have less UVA exposure inside than outside. Probably you can be a little bit more bombarded if you live in a space like full of glasses that do not filter UVA. So in that case, you would need like a hardcore sunscreen. So this is a sunscreen that have a UVA protection equal or above 30. But most of us, it is not going to be the case. So when you are going to be inside, you will not need a superior, I would say, UVA protection. But if you're outside, especially for some times, of course you are going to need like a higher UVA protection, like I always tell you. So I encourage you to use what I call my hardcore sunscreen, which are SPF 50 plus with a UVA protection above 30. The two that I tend to recommend the most is this one, the P20 Sun Care for Kids. You are probably bored of me talking about this one. Another alternative is the La Roche-Posay, the Shaka Fluid, and you also have the cream. So this one has a UVA protection of 46, and the cream is around 34 or 36, something like that, also high. I have a video about hardcore sunscreen. But what is important with those hardcore sunscreen is that they are also SPF 50 plus, which is something so damn important. Why? Because UVB, they are dreadful, like very dreadful, and with an SPF of 50 plus, you will just have less UVB that goes into your skin. So those Altruist sunscreen, even though they probably have a pretty high UVA protection, the SPF is still an SPF of 50, and you will be more protected by a sunscreen like this one when you will be outside. So I do find that it is a bit difficult to find a place for an Altruist sunscreen, because when you're outside, you will need a high protection against UVB and also UVA. And conversely, when you will be inside, you don't need that much of a UVA protection. And in the market, there are now a ton and a ton of SPF 50 plus with a PA rating of at least 4, or a European one and an Australian one. So in that case, the UVA protection will be of 20, that are so damn elegant. So why downgrade in a way and choose an SPF of 50 when you can have an SPF of 50 plus? And with those sunscreen, if you go outside for a short time, I don't know, like to do some groceries, to run some errands and etc., you are not going to stay outside like for an hour. You can just rely on those sunscreen that are very, very elegant. Just to give you a few, you have the Innisfree, the Daily Mild. This one, very lovely. It is creamy, it has no white cast, no alcohol. It's very pleasant, it is invisible on the skin, it is not overly moisturizing or anything. The finish is beautiful. You have the Keep Cool, and this one is also fragrance free, alcohol free. It has absolutely no white cast. This is the Soothe Bamboo Sun Essence, SPF 50 plus, PA rating of 4+, according to the brand, even though it is not mentioned on the package. But this one has a UVA protection of 32, so it means that this is actually a hardcore sunscreen, but this one feels like nothing on the skin. I cannot be sure, of course, at the UVA protection, because it's only disclosed by the brand, so probably, let's put it like this. I'm always a little bit dubious, because this is me. I do prefer when it's returned in the package, because like that, you just have more insurance. But this one, it's like a cream. It transforms into like a light lotion. The finish is almost matte. I mean, I do think that this one is suitable for a ton of different skin tone. And of course, this one, especially if the UVA protection is really about 32, it will be superior than the Altruism. And it's so about the Altruist. My God, every time I say Altruism, it is Altruist. And also this one, it is still an SPF of 50 plus, so it means that if you put your nose outside, even for 10 minutes, you will just have less UVB into your skin. Others, this Japanese one, the Bure UV, the Athleism. I do prefer the Athleism Essence over the Bure, the Acra Rich. This one is a bit more expensive, but I do think that for the price, you have a better formula. It feels better. It seems also that the alcohol content is probably less, but I am not reactive to this one. It has perfume, a little bit of alcohol, absolutely no white cast, and feels like nothing on the skin, that I really like. Another one, especially if you live in the United States and you want like those new bougie filters, which I understand, try this one from Clef Beauty, the Beach Shield. This is also an excellent one. You need to make sure that you shake it, because this is a milk. This one also is very good. It has, if I recall correctly, around 3% of alcohol. You don't really feel it on the skin, at least on me. It does not irritate me. The texture is very lovely. It is 100% transparent. Doesn't have any perfume, very well formulated. You have the Bomb Ass Channels of S. I mean, for every day, this one is great. The last one, the Skin Aqua, the Super UV Moisturized Milk, also pretty affordable. This one, it does have a tiny white cast, but barely there. No alcohol, no perfume. When you apply it, it is quite shiny, but the silicone, the cyclopentoxyloxane, they're going to evaporate. So yeah, overall, this is my view about the sunscreen. Now, if you want to use it and you are mainly indoors, I mean, go for it. If you live like in really like northern country, I'm thinking about Norway, Sweden, etc. You are not during during summer, so you know that the UVB are very low. In that case, yes, okay, go and use it. Or if you love it on a day-to-day basis when you are mainly indoors, of course you can use it. So basically that's it for today. I hope you did like this video. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also ring the tiny bell, because like this you get notified. I also have a beautiful French YouTube channel now. Yes, I am en français. You can also check my 2 Instagram accounts. Again, thank you so much for being here, for all your support, for all your messages and etc. I am really grateful to have all of you, and you are such a good and sweet and very clever community. And I will see you next time. Au revoir.